Hey there, Patriots. Welcome back to the front lines. This is Death Watch here to give you guys more intel so you can update your personal armory and fight back against the fake news media machine. And today we're going to be discussing all these, it's all coming together now. It's all exposing itself, right? It's been exposing themselves for a while. But, we have a actual group of people at a drag march saying what we all been saying. They're coming for the children, right? We're coming for your children chant at New York City Drag March elicits outrage by activists saying it's taken out of context. No, it's not. It's not taken out of context, right? They openly say it, right? But NBC News tries to run a little a puff piece, I guess, I don't know, to run protection for this, trying to claim that, well, we don't know who actually started the chant. We don't even know who these people are or if they were even part of the march themselves, right? It's like, no, the actual clip is here, right? I can't play it on YouTube because there's a woman who's exposing her breasts just behind the flag and she has pasties on, but I don't know if YouTube will actually allow me to actually show it. But no, the clip is out here for everybody to see. There openly a guy is clear in clear view who's part of the march. He's wearing a drag outfit. Openly says that, and then a bunch of people then rechant the same thing. We're here. We're queer. We're coming for your children. Even the fact checkers here at YouTube openly said that, hey, um, you guys are capping here. You guys are straight up lying. Now, what did they try to write here in this article? Well, in the 21-second clip circulated by right-wing web streamer channels, right, dozens of people march in the streets and are clearly heard chanting, "We're here, we're queer, we're not going shopping," but one voice that is louder than the crowd is not clear whose. Again, we can see who exactly started that chant, or whether the speaker was a member of the LGBTQ community. That person was clearly wearing an outfit that definitely blended in with all the rest of the people who's wearing all sorts of outfits, is heard saying at least twice, "We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children." To conservative pundits, activists, and lawmakers, the video confirmed the allegations that they levied in recent years that the LGBTQ community is grooming children. Um, that's just a bunch of just one video out of a bunch of other evidence that we have covered, right? We covered the Midwestern teachers who openly say, hey, under the banner of MAP, right? They openly said, hey, we're going to openly try to skirt Republican laws in order to teach children gender ideology and keep it from their parents. We're going to say, hey, these kids are trans. We're going to allow them to, fill their head with all their delusions and do whatever, and try our best to keep that knowledge away from their parents, right? Disgusting stuff, right? In Canada, Christians and Muslims are teaming up saying enough is enough. In California, right, the whole fiasco that started the whole Nick Merckx situation, right? A bunch of parents in I forgot what county in California came to the school board to protest, saying, "Hey, we've been trying to talk to you guys about the type of crap that you're teaching our children, right? Our math scores, our reading comprehension scores, our standardized testing scores for this district is going down. Our children are suffering, right, from that. What are you guys doing? We need to talk and discuss what exactly is being taught in our schools, right? The school board does not want to meet with the parents, right? That's ridiculous. And so the parents came out to protest. What happens? Leftists who don't have children decide that they're just going to show up and start trying to punch parents in the face for daring to for daring not to teach their bullcrap ideology in schools. Ridiculous. Nick Mertz sees it on Twitter, says, hey, we probably should just leave kids alone. And like I said in a previous video, if a bunch of Republicans decided to infiltrate public schools, teach children about Jesus Christ, and then take them all on a field trip to a church to get baptized, you would see Democrats all over coming out saying that is wrong, that is disgusting. All these people should be charged with, whatever, the highest amount of crimes we can, because that's disgusting. It's like, yeah, nobody should be allowed to do any of this, but leftists openly say that, hey, we 100% believe that we are in the right to do so because you all are evil, right? They don't call you guys World War II baddies for no reason. They 100% believe that they are justified to take your kids from you, teach them whatever they want, and then hide the evidence, keep the evidence away from you, right? And when they are exposed, constantly being shown, hey, this is exactly, you guys are doing exactly what we're accusing you of, they run defense articles like this. Well, we don't know who started chant. We don't even know if they're part of the movement. They weren't even part of the march, right? Right? Bullcrap. The evidence is right here. The fact checkers are coming out and saying, yo, you're lying. We know exactly what's going on here, right? They even go out to say, hey, we interviewed one guy. Griffin said he chanted obscene things in the past, like, we should, do, again, we should attack the mayor, right? Hey, that's a call for violence. That's not a chant that you just say out loud, right? Remember when they keep saying that every time Republicans come out and say, hey, what was it? At CPAC, Michael Knowles comes out and says, hey, we need to put an end to transgenderism, right? What do they say? They say, oh, Michael Knowles is openly calling for genocide of trans people on stage. No, he didn't. He literally said, hey, if the full context was, hey, if there is such thing as, there's more than two genders, if that's actually proven to be true and that people can change genders, then sure, we can teach children about that because it's now scientifically backed. But if it's not scientifically backed, then we need to put an end to transgenderism because it's unethical, it's non-science, and we're just teaching kids nonsense, right? That was the full context behind what he said, but they just take that one clip, put it on air, and say he's straight up calling for violence against trans people, which he didn't. But again, they're running a puff piece saying that, well, people say obscene things all the time, right? It's just words. It doesn't mean anything, right? You guys keep saying words are violence, right? Silence is violence, right? If you're a person who doesn't speak up when you see something going down, you are also engaging in the violence, right? But when the left comes out and they say all sorts of stuff, well, you guys are just overreacting. Disgusting, right? Even the White House had to call them out at a Pride march because people were going topless. People were exposing themselves, right? The White House condemned attendees at a Saturday's Pride event on the South Lawn who engaged in what President Joe Biden's press secretary described as unacceptable behavior. The behavior was simply unacceptable. We've been very clear about that. It was unfair to the hundreds of attendees who were there to celebrate their families. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said Tuesday, adding that the people seen engaging in inappropriate behavior won't be invited back to the White House. She was responding to a video from the Saturday event that showed some attendees removing their tops in front of the South portico while dancing. It's not appropriate. It's disrespectful. Jean-Pierre said, going on to say the video really does not reflect the event that was hosted to celebrate the LGBTQ families, right? Well, hey, I don't know if you guys just live in the White House all day 24/7 and don't go outside. Every single event is the exact same thing. People exposing themselves, walking around naked in lingerie, in all sorts of kink fetish BDSM gear, exposing themselves in their sexual behaviors to everybody, in children, right? They have now claimed that Florida is a hostile is hostile to LGBTQ groups. Why? Because not only because of the ban on was it trans medicine or whatever, I forgot the actual phrasing that they like to use, but no, because Florida is in Tennessee. Tennessee decided to say that, hey, drag shows are considered adult deemed contents and only can be only can go to them at private venues, and that means that only 18-year or up people are allowed in those venues, right? There's no such thing as a family friendly drag show in Tennessee, right? Florida does the same thing. It says, hey, you're not allowed to have these events, these marches in publicly right here, just like the legislation which has passed both chambers and now goes to Governor Ron DeSantis for his signature, prohibits knowingly exposing children to an adult live performance that depicts or simulates nudity, sexual content, sexual excitement, or specific sexual activities listed under the state code. They have now issued a travel warning for people, saying that, hey, this is not a safe place for LGBTQ people. Ridiculous. Just because they're saying, hey, we don't believe in going around holding events that are exposing children to nudity and sexual content, right? Videos, movies, they all have maturity ratings. Okay, they're there for a reason, but the left just thinks that, oh well, you guys, it's just a conspiracy theory, right? It's a conspiracy theory that we're grooming children or that we're exposing them to adult themed content and just marketing as family friendly. You guys are doing that. We have tons of videos, tons of evidence of you guys doing it, and you guys are openly chanting that you're doing it. Okay, but we're just a bunch of evil people who just hate, LGBTQ people. No, we're not. We're against predators who are disguising themselves as, family friendly events or event holders, right? Okay, and then this goes down to a much bigger issue, right? Should kink be shown at pride parades, right? This is a post from Reddit. Okay, good chunk of people say no, and there should be separate adult and kid friendly events, right? Is that just too much to ask? But again, leftists come out and openly say, yes, kink belongs at Pride, and I want my kids to see it. Well, what exactly is this kink that you guys are saying that should be allowed? Well, people straight up just being naked, butt naked in the street, right? I can't even play the video of this because it's just a bunch of people riding around on bikes, butt naked, exposing themselves, right? Plenty of videos of people just walking around, butt naked, walking around, exposing their genitalia. There's kids in these crowds. You can see them on video. Okay, you have people wearing dog play. You had a video of a pride parade where a dude was literally tied up in the back of a pickup truck while another guy is literally whipping his butt, and they're driving down the street just doing these sexual acts in front of everybody. And it's crazy that Republicans are just like, yo, when has this ever been allowed? Right? When has this ever been allowed to be done in public? Never. But for some reason at pride events, they say, oh, no, we should be allowed to do that, and everybody should be allowed to watch. And if you don't like it, you are a bigot. You are trying to engage in a hate crime against the LGBTQ community. That's ridiculous. It's disgusting. And then they try to, again, advertise it as, well, it's just simply sexual education in schools. That's all we're trying to teach. It's like, no, these kids are underage. We all knew what sex education was back in when I was in high school and middle school, right? It was simply, hey, don't have sex because you don't want to get any unwanted STDs or STIs. You don't want to get someone pregnant or get pregnant yourself because that will ruin your future. Having an unwanted pregnancy at such a young age. You're literally in middle school. You're not even, in middle school, you're not even 13 years old yet. Some people just graduating, from middle school at 13, right? High school, I think I was 13 when I entered high school, right? Same thing. Hey, you don't want to go around having sex because you might get somebody pregnant or you might catch an STI, and that stays with you for life, and that will slowly kill you, right? Catching AIDS, HIV, that will slowly kill you. That's what sexual education was. Hey, don't repopulate unless it's wanted, right? And after that, it literally would just say, hey, make sure, your parents should also talk to you, have a deeper conversation with you about that crap, about what they expect from you, in the way that you should, walk out the door and, because it used to be a saying that the way that you reflect your parenting from the way that you go out into the world, right? And so we clearly see that it seems like a lot of people on the left were raised by nobody, by people who were just all over the place, really didn't care about them, did all sorts of stuff with them and around them, and now they're out and about doing the exact same thing. Okay, trying to go to young kids and expose themselves to young kids and to everybody else. Right? What's going on here? It's ridiculous. And nobody should tolerate this crap, right? There should be a fine line, right, in the sand that says, hey, we do not cross these lines, okay? But the left, again, using all these, using pride parades, using LGBTQ, saying that it's sex education, or even when it comes to critical race theory, saying that, well, we're just teaching the true meaning of America. We're just teaching, African American studies, or we're just teaching slavery in schools. No, you guys are clearly trying to indoctrinate people in your weird, refabricated ideology, your fan fiction of what history is. Okay? Get out of here with that. We don't want it. Okay? And like always, stay safe, stay sane, Be vigilant. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you, Patriots, on the battlefield.